Toney Douglas tem 39 anos, realizou mais de 400 jogos na NBA, jogou ao lado de grandes estrelas, tais como Steph Curry ou LeBron James, e trocou esta época o Benfica pelo Futebol Clube do Porto, após 2 épocas de grande sucesso em Lisboa. Toney, it's great to have you here. I know it's a busy season, so I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me a little bit about your journey, about your career, and about the fact that you're 39 years old and still putting up amazing numbers. I mean, do you at any time feel like you're getting younger than instead of older? I mean, isn't it crazy to you?
I'm not really surprised because I take care of my body. You know, some days I feel like my age and some days I don't. But when I'm on the basketball court, I still love the game. So that's why I'm still playing. Yeah. If I didn't love it no more, I stop, do my second phase of my career. But I always wanted to play overseas after the NBA was done. And I think me taking care of my body to a certain extent really helped me keep progressing in my career.
And if you look at your numbers, I mean, if we round up the numbers, 14 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, better than the previous 2 seasons at Benfica. I mean, what's been so special to you about this season?
Well, we have a great team. We have a lot of my teammates. They play multiple positions, and Coach Saab, man, he's been amazing. Letting me be a coach on the floor, a leader, leading the group as well. But at the same time, being able to be coach. Yeah. You know, regardless if I'm 39 years old and I play at the highest level, doesn't mean that I still can't be coach. And
Speaking of that, how's been the chemistry? I mean, you were in Benfica last season. Did it have any impact or not really?
What had the impact?
The fact that you came from Benfica and, you know, the teammates.
The teammates I had at Benfica were amazing too. Like, you know, just because I'm here in Porto doesn't mean I didn't like the teammates. I had great teammates at Benfica, from the Portuguese, from the foreign players, and now that I'm here, it's the same thing. I have great teammates from the Portuguese and the foreign players.
So you had time to settle in Porto. You've been here for almost a year. What stands out the most about this club?
That the club. I'm gonna start off the court. They really care about you off the court. That's real big for me wherever I go, because if you're not right off the court, you're not going to be able to perform on the court. So that's the biggest factor for me individually. But they all it's the same for the whole team. And on the court, I just think team chemistry. Like we have really a lot of good players that sacrifice just to do whatever it takes to do to win. You know, who cares about the numbers? Who cares about the points? The status of who gets MVP, who gets that. We just want to win. And my previous 2 seasons when I was at Benfica, it was the same way, especially when we hit the playoffs. Don't matter what, we just want to win. And I feel like we have the same type of group.
Yeah, and Porto didn't win the championship last season, hasn't won for, 9 years? You're probably aware of that too. I mean,
I hear it a lot.
Yeah.
It's been, 9 years?
Yeah.
9 years.
Does it have a lot of pressure, adding it to the fact that you came here and, you're Toney Douglas, you're one of the leaders. Does it have a little bit of pressure, that, or not really?
I mean, it does and it don't because of my personality. Because obviously I'm here, they expect to win a championship, and especially the team we have, to make sure that. And also with me individually, I'm built for it. I love pressure.
Yeah, you mentioned in previous interviews that you're a culture changer.
Culture changer, that's me.
Can you explain a little bit?
I am a culture changer for sure. Yeah. Wherever I go, I'm going to change that culture, the culture, and we're going to win.
Does it have to? It came from what, college, high school? You know, something from where?
From actually going into college, because my college, I remember I was a senior and our team at Florida State University haven't been to the NCAA tournament in 16 seasons.
Wow.
And my coach was on the verge of getting fired.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about leaving my junior year for the NBA, and I actually stayed back. And I had all freshmen, and I was the only senior.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's kind of risky for me to stay back. I don't know how this is going to work out. And we end up reaching the ACC championship game, being number 3 in our conference and going to the NCAA tournament to the second round.
Yeah, that's insane. So that's where the culture changer kind of comes.
For sure.
All right, and about your career here in Portugal, you are probably aware about the rivalry between Porto and Benfica.
Yes.
What prompted your departure from Benfica, if you want to talk about it?
Say that again, sorry.
What motivated your departure from Benfica?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good one. It really wasn't something to motivate, because normally when you play for for Benfica and you won two championships in a row, you don't expect to leave, right? No, in the outside world, you're like, everybody's wondering, why did you leave?
Yeah, that's why it's so surprising.
Yeah, it's so surprising. Why did you leave? And I, like I told in the interview the other day, I said, I wasn't planning on coming to Porto. That wasn't in my plans. After we won a championship, some things happened, on the inside that I can't really talk about right now, that led me here. But I take everything happened for a reason.
Yeah.
And I never thought I would be playing for Porto. I did say one thing. I said if I stay in Portugal, it will only be going to Porto. It won't be going to any other team.
Yeah.
And I have my family here, and we're settled here, so I made that move instead of going anywhere else overseas.
Yeah, and you were Finals MVP in 2023.
Yeah.
What are the biggest difference between the two organizations, Benfica and Porto?
Man, I have nothing negative to say with Benfica. The organization over there was amazing too. When I was there, they take care of their players. They're family oriented. Off the court, they try to make sure that you're good. I had no issues. It's just that's why everybody and myself was like a bit shocked. Yeah. So like I said, here in Porto, it's been amazing. It's been great. Everything happened for a reason, and I'm gonna ride this wave.
Yeah, and you went overseas when you left the NBA. You went to Turkey, Spain.
Yes.
How does the rivalry between Benfica and Porto compare to other rivalries that you experienced all over Europe?
It was kind of like you have Efes when I was in Turkey, and then Fener. Then you have Efes and Galatasaray. It's real. In Greece,
it was really intense.
In Greece, that's probably by far probably the most craziest I've seen being in Greece.
Yeah, so some of the people in the States, they don't understand what you guys live when you come to Europe and this kind of atmospheres. Even in the Taça de Portugal, Porto Benfica, Porto Sporting, the final. I mean, it was a crazy atmosphere. I was actually there, and it was wild, right?
Yeah, I wasn't here for the game, but I seen videos what was going on.
Yeah, and do you play as kind of just don't listen a lot about what happens on the stands, or do you? It's just a normal day for you.
I think since being here in Portugal, for even when I played for Benfica, now I'm here. It's a big rivalry, I think, amongst really the fans. Obviously, as a player, and I play with Porto. Oh, you don't like Benfica, like you want to beat them. Yes, you always want to beat your rival team, but I don't think there's nobody dislike each other from the other team. We're not like that. Yeah. But
you guys are professionals.
We're professionals, and at the same time, we want to just compete and win. Yeah.
And how does the level of competition in Portugal compare to other places that you've been?
The levels has got a lot better since my first year. Okay. I've been here in Portugal. From like prime example, I mean, when I was in Benfica, was in Champions League. Here, last year, the team went to the quarterfinals. Yeah. They almost should have went to the semifinals. This year, we beat some big teams, well-known teams in Turkey, Spain, and Greece.
Yeah, PAOK, I remember that game.
That was a major win, and Portugal basketball is on the rise. Like, I don't be shocked. Even the league, it's like we have a good 7 teams in this league that could beat you on any given night if you don't come ready to play.
And even after the Taça de Portugal, you guys went against Galumar, which is the last place.
Yes.
And it wasn't easy. I mean,
yeah, it wasn't easy. That's the thing about basketball. They think that just because you play for this team, every night you got to come out and perform, and any team could beat you, and that's life. And the prime example, we lost to Ovar before the Cup.
Yeah, exactly. In Dragão Arena.
And Portuguese Cup. And I said in the interview that was humbling.
Yeah.
I'm glad we lost that game before we played the Portuguese Cup because it was one game elimination. You would have been out.
Yeah. And do you guys believe that this will be Porto's year?
I believe it. I said it since August.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking to it.
Culture changer, right?
Culture changer, and we're going to win the championship.
Now,
that's my mindset.
Yeah. Now going a little bit further back, going through your NBA career, you played more than 400 games. And first, how did it feel to hear your name called in the NBA draft? I mean, what was going through your mind back then?
Oh man, it was amazing because I'm gonna give you something behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know. So during the draft, I'm with my agent, and I knew I got drafted by the Lakers, but got traded to the Nets on draft night. Yeah. I knew that maybe 5 hours before the draft, probably what happened. And that was the same day I got drafted that Michael Jackson died. June 25th, 2009. It was crazy. And I got offered to go to New York, but I didn't choose to go to New York because I just wanted to be home with my family in Atlanta, Georgia, and stuff like that. But it's an amazing experience, man, having that feeling that, dang, yeah, I got drafted, but I didn't say, oh, I made it. You only last 3 to 4 years in the league. Yeah, you got to stay in it. It's hard to stay in.
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard.
What's easy is to get in. Wait, easy.
Well, you can get drafted, and there's a lot of play. Now, if you know how to play, teams will find you. You don't have to get drafted. If you know how to play the game of basketball, shoot, dribble, no fundamentals, athletic, they will find you. All you need is that chance. Yeah. When I was coming in the draft, it's like you had to put up certain numbers. You got to play for a certain D1 school. You have to really, really be known, you know?
The game is as involved.
Exactly. A lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more.
A lot of teams are now looking also to the Europe and Asia
for sure.
And stuff like that. It doesn't have that, they don't look at it. Jokic was second round pick and, he's Jokic. I mean, so it's not that a big deal if you're a first round, second round. I mean, it's a big deal in terms of contract.
Yeah, contract-wise, but it's not a big deal because your opportunity will come, and you just have to take advantage of it when it does.
And how was your years at New York Knicks? Your first years, I mean, you played Madison Square Garden, you played a lot of games, and I imagine it was kind of a crazy experience too, right?
It was. I think now it's just really hitting me because when I was 23, 24, 25, playing in New York, I'm that age and it didn't really hit me. Yeah. But now that I'm sitting back and I look at my journey from college and the NBA and in Europe, they're like, man, I played for the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden.
Was NBA something that you were always expecting? I mean, was it something like, I imagine it was a dream come true, obviously, but a lot of players, they go through high school, college, and they always like top 10 rank there. And, were you one of those players, or it was college that made you it the first round pick?
Well, from high school, I was ranked always in the country. Okay. Like maybe top 30. I wasn't a McDonald. You know what McDonald All-American is?
It's what, top 20?
Yeah, it's like top 25.
Yeah.
Like, because out of my state in Georgia, it was like Dwight Howard, Josh Smith, Randolph Morris, had loads of guys, and only I didn't make that game, but I was a All-American in high school. And once I got to college, I literally said this. I said, I'm going to do 2 years, and I'm going to the NBA. That's what I'm going to do. 2 years, going to the NBA. That's all I want to do. So, and I kept my grades up because I knew I had to, because I wanted to play basketball. Yeah. If I knew if I didn't have grades, then I can't play. Yeah. So it's crazy how life works, because I didn't do the 2 years. I was at Auburn University first. I was 5'8". You won't believe that, 5'8". Wow. Which is what? In City University.
It's 180 maybe?
Yeah, maybe something like that.
80 something.
Very small. Yeah. Very small. And
especially at that time. I mean,
at that time, yes. And I was an All-American in college, a freshman. Yeah. Rajon Rondo was at Kentucky. Everybody, I was that, but I had transferred. And I went to Florida State because my coach, he had to do his best for the team. I was a 5'8" two guard. Wow. And I knew I wasn't going to be a 5'8" two guard going to the NBA. If that was my dream.
Mm-hmm.
So I transferred, went to Florida State University, had to sit out a year. And then, things work out. I had to stay all my years to reach my dream. And I graduated from college, and I still had my dream, be able to get to the NBA and have a good career.
Yeah. And at New York Knicks, were there any veteran players that took you under their wing or gave you some valuable advice?
Yeah, my rookie year, Larry Hughes,
Okay.
Chris Duhon was my vets who really showed me the ropes and really was good people, were good guys, man.
And was it tough, your rookie year? How did you feel?
It was, because sometimes, I knew going in the NBA that sometimes you may play, sometimes you may not. I had to get that feeling, but my vets, they told me your time is going to come and your time will come.
Mm-hmm.
And it came, and then I did good in my rookie year. Then I ended up starting for 2 years, and then, that was a great situation.
What was the locker room like atmosphere in the NBA? I mean, what do you feel like people don't see that is so different from the NBA and all other leagues and stuff like that?
Well, over here, what people don't see, locker room in NBA, it's like basically you're on your own. Over here in Europe, you do everything as a team.
Yeah.
Like you ride the team bus, and you have team dinner. You have shoot around. If you're late, you get this. Coach may be mad at you. He may not want to play you. In certain European countries, it's like that.
The coaches scream a lot more here in Europe than in the US.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yeah.
It's a lot more discipline.
More discipline, for sure. And the NBA is definitely not like that.
And how's it like an experience? Imagine you're you're in New York, you're going to play in LA. Mm-hmm. How's the experience? You go to an hotel?
Yeah, so like you
guys go individually?
So, I miss those days. You you don't have to go to the main airport like regular people. You go right to the plane, park your cars, but go right to the plane, go up. Some have their own. Some teams have their own plane.
Yeah, you
go there, you touch down. We take the team bus, but you don't have to take the team bus. You could get an Uber or a car service. Yeah, and you could go. You're on your own. You're free. Just make sure you at shoot around in the morning. Mm-hmm. That's all you gotta do. However you get there, doesn't matter. You got to be there. If you're late, coach don't get mad. You just get fined. No problem.
It's a very different culture, right?
Very, very different.
Yes. And do you have any funny or memorable experience by what you had, what you saw, and from what you lived in New York, or I don't know?
Oh man, I got 2 experiences. Being in New York was crazy. I realized that. To this day, I could go to New York and everybody would know me. Mm-hmm. And it hasn't been. Yeah. It's like if once you play for the Knicks, it's like they know everything about you. When I played for New York and when I was starting and doing good, I couldn't go nowhere. I wasn't saying I was a crazy superstar, but like
it's a crazy fan base.
Yeah,
right?
Fan base is crazy. Like you go eat, hey, gotta take a picture, gotta do this, do this. And the one time, I never turn nobody down, and the one reason why I don't. Because my dad used to take me and my brother to go see NBA games. I remember we waited 3 hours outside Staples Center in LA, and I seen Shaq, Ron Harper, Robert Horry. Everybody gave me an autograph, and it was a black on black Mercedes. We waited by the parking lot, and we knew it was Kobe Bryant's. We knew it. He's the only person that didn't come out.
Yeah,
and we waited, and he was in a rush. I said, "Can you sign my stuff?" My jersey or my shirt or my shoes. He said, sorry, man, I got to go. I'm in a rush or whatever. And that always stuck to me. And then when I got drafted, obviously Kobe knew of me. I knew of him. And I said, man, probably won't remember, but when I was 10, I asked you I brought up that scenario. And he was like, really, Toney? I'm so sorry about that, man. Like, I don't want you to, I apologize for that. And that day on, I never said no to a kid or for a picture, even if I'm tired.
And was Kobe Bryant your idol? Someone that you
Michael
just
Jordan
looked
was my idol.
Oh, okay.
Michael Jordan
it's your GOAT too.
Huh?
It's your GOAT too, Michael Jordan.
Oh, you put me in
tough question.
Tough position right now.
Yeah.
Oh, we could go all day on that.
Yeah.
I think there's 2 GOATs.
Right.
Michael and LeBron James. There are 2 of them.
Explain yourself there.
I grew up watching Michael. That's why I wore 23. I mean, he was like God to me in basketball. He done it all. And then when I look at LeBron James, not playing with him and then playing with him and the stuff he's doing at year 22, I don't think that's ever going to be done, ever.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous, crazy. Yes, he has four rings, but he's right there. He's right there, breaking all type of records.
Yeah. It's different.
It's
right?
different. It's no one like Jordan. There's no one like LeBron.
Yeah. So we'll go a little bit further to that. So, but before, who was the toughest player you had to guard in the NBA?
Hands down, a healthy Derrick Rose.
Really? Chicago Derrick.
The MVP, Derrick Rose.
Any memorable matchup that you can remember?
With him or anybody else?
Anybody else?
I mean, the two hardest is Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook.
Wow.
Like,
because they crazy athletes, right?
Crazy athletes. I remember where a part of my rookie year, I couldn't even play because they was posting me up and I couldn't guard. I was skinny. And that after my rookie year, that made me really get in the weight room and made me really get stronger because I wanted to play.
Yeah,
and
sure.
They will attack the mismatch, and I was a mismatch.
And you supposedly are a great defender, right?
Yeah.
And was it something at that time that made you click? Like, oh.
Well, I at that time I was a great defender on the ball in other ways, but in the post, I wasn't. I wasn't that strong. They was overpowering me, you know.
So it was almost like a center going against you. Right?
Exactly. I had to work on my balance, my explosiveness, and being strong.
Yeah, and you played alongside a lot of NBA players. I mean, they are stars. Some of them are the faces of the league, like Curry, LeBron, D-Wade was in the past. So starting with Curry, I mean, we all know Stephen Curry, who he is. What was your first impression of Curry when you went to Golden State?
Well, my first is
because he's also skinny, right?
My first impression of him, because we was in the same draft class.
Yeah, in 2009.
Yeah, he was like so skinny and scrawny, and I'm like, but he could shoot. I think everybody's so crazy about his shooting, but he have great ball handling. He could handle the ball and pass. He's a great passer. I know the shooting overshadowed everything else he does, but he's an amazing passer and has great ball handling skills and can see the floor like crazy. Yeah,
a lot of people probably didn't value him at that time. And
exactly.
Did you realize early on that he would be, such a generational talent? I mean, from what you saw at that time, obviously.
From at the time when we came in the same draft, he didn't really play that much. And then when he got his opportunity, he showed flashes.
When did you went to Golden State? Was 2013.
Yes.
Yeah. And at that time?
And at that when I played with him in 2013, they had that run in the playoffs when he broke out against Denver. Denver Nuggets. And I said, okay,
round, right?
this he could be one of the best guards in the league. And Mark Jackson just let him do his thing and took off.
Yeah. And in practice, was it that difficult to guard him, or you didn't find that difficult since you defended also other guards like Westbrook and
it was difficult at first, but once we practiced with each other every day, so I'm going against him every day. So I kind of learned his game, study him. But once he got to run the show and he had a coach that believed in him, not saying that the other coach didn't, he just took off, man.
Yeah,
and the one thing I love about him, he's very humble.
Yeah. So in not only as a player, as a teammate, he was also good. I mean,
good teammate.
a superstar. So people see a lot his flashy 3-point, as you mentioned, his shooting ability, and what do people don't see that make him so great? Is it his passing? Is it his I don't know, his way of handling his teammates? He's a leader.
I think how he treat everybody else on the team.
Wow.
Because you have some guys that could be buttholes, like always angry and mean and mad at the person. But he's not like that. If you have a bad shooting night, he'd be like, "Hey, shoot the next one. Don't worry about it. I got you. Shoot the next one." He give you confidence.
Yeah. Did you have any experience with him? From what you're saying.
Yeah, we had when we was playing, because I was backing him up. We had a good relationship to the point where He always say, "No problem, Toney. If I had a bad game or bad shooting, he'd be like, hey, come on, you know what you could do.
Yeah.
Stay confident."
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. He never was like saying, "Oh man, I don't know if this is gonna work out, this and that." But him and Andre Iguodala was amazing as teammates.
Yeah, and you also play with Draymond Green, Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
Draymond Green is very controversial.
Yeah.
Was he like that at that time?
Let me tell you, Draymond Green, before he had money, he is who he is.
Yeah.
He was like that. He was like who he is in college.
Yeah.
It's not that. It just, I mean,
it's not the money talking.
Yeah, it's not. Oh, I got all this money, I can do this. No, he's been like this. His rookie year, he was like that.
Yeah,
in a good way. And every team needs a player like him.
Yeah, you feel it was like one of the keys to Golden State to the dynasty. Yeah,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So Toney, you also played alongside LeBron, like we were mentioning, and what was he like?
Probably one of the best teammates ever had. He knows. I could tell you one thing. He could play a team in Europe, and I promise you, he would know the scouting report on every player from 1 to 12, what they could do.
Yeah, you feel his IQ is like the
it's
great thing. Yeah. You know, one thing that I kind of noticed is his handshakes. I mean, he remembers like 30 or 40 of
I don't
them.
know how you remember that. He had a handshake for every player, and I don't see how he remember every handshake.
That's insane. Some of the times, like, I don't know, a rotational play or like from 10 years ago, and it's still
exactly.
That's crazy. Yeah, but is there a specific moment that stands out to you from what you saw from LeBron James?
I mean, when I was on that Heat team, one thing we did everything together. I mean, after practice, we may go all hang out on the boat. When we were on the road, we always made sure we go to team dinner as a team, wherever restaurant we go to. Mm-hmm. If not the whole team, at least like 8 or 9, 10 guys. He was a true leader to always hanging out, making sure that everybody was like brothers.
Was it a team that you actually like loved from the NBA? I did some research.
Yeah.
I saw that
Miami.
Yeah, you had
2014 was a great experience.
Yeah.
And that's really, I really learned what a championship caliber team is about. Mm-hmm. It wasn't smooth. Like championship teams, they get angry in practice. There's arguments. There's fights. It's okay. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be that. You think winning a championship that you're gonna have just normal practices or people angry? No, you're gonna go through some adversity. It happens. It's life. But it's gonna all still come together.
What was one of the greatest moments that you lived in Miami? I know you went to the finals, which was also great, I imagine. But what were the main moments, I guess?
In Miami?
Yeah.
On the court? Or regardless?
On or off. I guess. Whatever you...
Obviously, the greatest moment on the court was like in being a couple of them, the Eastern Conference champions when we beat Indiana. Mm-hmm. That was an amazing experience. Yeah. I think we won that series. Then we went to the finals. Having that experience in the finals and know that one thing I've seen with Coach Erik Spoelstra, is that you cannot play the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, but maybe the finals you may be starting. Yeah. It was when I was in Miami, D-Wade had, I think his knee was always bothering him, so he didn't play like 40-something games. Anytime he didn't play, I started. And I could go 5 games without playing. Mm-hmm. So what that mean? I had to stay ready, be ready when my name is called. Yeah. One prime example was crazy. We was playing Golden State, and this is the team I just left them. Mm-hmm. And they called a starting lineup, and they said, D-Wade, Dwayne Wade. Everybody was like, where's D-Wade at? Where's D-Wade at? He's in the locker room, said, no, I can't go. All right, Toney, you're starting. I'm like, huh? Okay. I was saying that in my head, but I was like, okay, I'm ready. Yeah. So everything that we went through, shoot around, I better have paid attention. Yeah. Because once your number's called, you got to be ready, and you got to take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, that must have been crazy, right?
Yeah, that was crazy. That one by far was the craziest one I had.
What do you feel about the eat culture? Does that really exist, or is it something that just people just talk about?
It exists. and it's contagious.
Yeah.
It's man, Miami's got to be one of the loyal franchises in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna get there, and this is how it's gonna be. They win.
Well, it has happened with a lot of players like Jimmy Butler, and now they're struggling a little bit more. But But did you feel like you could have stayed a little bit longer in Miami?
Yeah, LeBron, when he went back to Cleveland, he messed a lot of stuff up. Because I sure was going to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, once he left, then a lot of stuff happened and stuff like that. And then I think I got to offer a major deal in China, and I said, ooh, I got to take that. And I came back to the NBA in February, be with the Pelicans, New Orleans.
And you mentioned China. How was it? Was it very, very, very different?
Very different. Culture shock.
Yeah.
My really first time.
Did you enjoy
overseas.
it, or at that time it was more about the money?
When I look, obviously the money. That's why I went.
Yeah,
for sure. In 4 months.
Yeah.
So went there, but it was a culture shock for me, because obviously I seen the real part of China, and when I look back at it, man, it was a great experience. When I look back, I just wasn't used to it because I only been in America at that point. So when I look back, if I ever did go back to China, I would know how stuff be, and I'm well prepared for that moment.
And still about LeBron, he's 40, you're 39. We mentioned his IQ. Do you feel like there's some similarities between LeBron and yourself? You're in Portugal, obviously.
Yeah, obviously his IQ on a different level than mine's, but so I could be the LeBron James of Europe.
Oh.
He's what, 40? I'm 39. He look like he's not slowing down. I'm not slowing down. So yeah, my IQ, I see the game different now. The older you get, even though I'm still quick and athletic and stuff like that, but
you feel that that's the main thing that makes a difference, especially at playing at 39 years old, 40, 41. That's the main thing.
For sure.
Yeah, and taking care of your body too, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
I just it's funny. I just asked our PR guy. I left some stuff at the arena. I said, you have to go get my stretch bands and this because I need it tonight. And I was like every night I'm not working at Drago Arena. I'm doing corrective exercises. I'm stretching. I'm doing whatever I need to do to take care of my body.
Yes, and especially at this time of the season, right?
For sure.
Before the playoffs.
For sure.
Yeah. And talking about about your mentality, and you've committed your entire life to basketball, right? For how long do you want to keep going?
Until my body said I can't do it no more, and until I stop loving the game.
Okay.
I mean, right now, there's no reason for me to stop.
Yeah, you still love the game, right?
I still love it. It's not. I still love it. My kids love seeing me play. So we'll see. I can't really give a time limit, but as of right now, I can tell you it's not going to be anytime soon.
Yeah.
Unless a bad injury or something happens, something like that. But still, mentally, how I am, I want to go out in a good way.
Yeah, a lot of players finish their career at 33, 34, 35, especially the ones that are in the NBA don't want to go overseas. You took that step of going overseas. Are there any regrets from what you've done in Europe or even in China? What was it all about the love of the game?
The love of the game, and it's no regrets coming overseas. I think it really helped me as a person too, because I seen a different part of the world that, you basically say I'm European. I go to the States maybe 1 month, or I'm back here, or 2 years ago, I didn't go back to the States. I stayed in Europe. I love the culture, different cultures. When I was in Spain, Greece, Italy, I was in Israel before the war happened. It was a good culture that I seen and been around the world and traveled. So
some crazy experience too, right?
Yeah. In Israel, it was kind of crazy because you could be I remember on a tour. In Jerusalem, and you just hear people shooting. Like, what's going on? It was crazy. Wow. But
Probably the craziest,
yeah,
no?
yeah, it's probably the craziest. If I had to sit up here for another hour, I could give you a lot of stories of craziness in Europe.
Wow.
But we're gonna stick to
yeah,
we're sticking to.
So Israel, Greece, Turkey. Which one was the crazy? Was it Israel?
For me, Israel, because one thing I do like about Israel because they're real family oriented. So like their Sundays is like our Monday.
Oh,
Start of the year, and I love food. I love to eat, and a lot of stuff closes a lot. And I living there was adjustment, but I mean visiting and stuff is good.
On that note, how important has been your family throughout your entire journey?
It's been amazing. It's the reason why I keep going.
Was it one of the reasons that you started playing basketball?
Nah, I played it because I loved it, and
nobody told you to do so.
No, I mean I've been playing basketball since I was 3-4 years old. Not always
on the mini hoops.
I remember my mom used to have to say, "Get in the house, get ready for school," and I remember I was in my bed. I said, "I'm gonna play for the Orlando Magic." When I grew up in the NBA, like I was destined. I set a goal, and I wanted to achieve that goal. That's how I am.
And now you also play for your children,
Oh, man, yeah. I love it. They keep me going. They keep me young.
Yeah, I saw your pictures from the Taça de Portugal. Yeah. With your children. It was also quite, a wonderful experience for them.
Yeah,
also
for sure.
So that's one of the reasons why you also want to win a championship so bad, right?
Yeah, for sure, for them. Because we be at home, like I video my son, and he'll be like, "Did you win?" But you missed 2-3 shots. I'd be like, "Okay, Tiger." Like, we won. We won. But yeah, man, I love playing with him. We play with him. We play together. Like, he pretends sometimes. He'd be like, "All right, I'm going to be Pova." And I say, "Okay, I'm Porto." Then he'd be like, "All right, I'm going to be Sporting." Then I'd be like, "All right, I'm going to be Gallimar." Like, we play like that. We play in the backyard at the house, and when he's with me, that's how we are.
Something that I forgot to mention when we were talking about Curry, it did the sell against Sporting, the sleep. I don't know if the night. Yeah, does it have something to do with Curry or nothing?
I mean, he created it,
yeah.
So I took a little something from him.
Yeah. And do your kids also watch a lot of basketball outside of Porto and our league?
Yeah, they do. They watch the NBA a lot,
but it's hard, eh?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard because the times.
Yeah, and it's small. It doesn't help.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And growing up, we already talked about Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. Was there any other player when you were growing up that you saw and just I want to be like him? Just Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, when I was like up to a certain age. Once I got to like high school, obviously I was the height. I wasn't 6'7". I liked it. When I was in the NBA draft, I compared my game to a Jogou type, but taken back in the 80s, because he played defense. He versatile. He could play one point guard and shooting guard, and he could play multiple positions. That I kind of say, hey, that's who I want to play like.
Finally, if you could give one piece of advice to a young player that wants to go pro, wants to go to the NBA, what would it be?
I would say get better every day, every week, every month, and then continue to work, because it's hard work. It's not easy. There's going to be days where you don't feel like it. There's days with me, I'll be like, I got to go to practice today. It's normal. It's normal. You'll feel like that. But just continue to put in the work, and if you really want your dream to come true, then you'll do it.
Toney, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks once again, and obviously good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you. We'll be back soon.
Yeah.